Last night, I started watching the election results roll in, and they kept talking about how long it would take. And I get up very early. So 10 o'clock, I saw the first ballot box counted, and that was it for me. So I woke up this morning full of hope and optimism, and that was kind of dash. But that's okay. We've got October. Here's Maxime Bernier. He says, quote, "Whatever the results this evening, we owe a huge debt of gratitude to our three heroes who were the first to defend freedom, responsibility, fairness, and respect for the People's Party of Canada in an election battle. Gertz Law and at Seal James." Right. So the election happened last night, and, well, we didn't win. Not one seat. That's okay. Here is the math on how this all breaks down. Jagmeet Singh took Burnaby South with an incredible 8,000 votes. 8,000 votes, that's it. The turnout across all three elections was very low. So there was only 22,000 of 76,000 registered voters, right? So that's a very low 20%-ish turnout, maybe just over 25%. But that's a low turnout. But if you look at vote splitting, the Conservatives got 5,133 votes and the People's Party got 2,420 votes. And if you add all that up, it doesn't beat Jagmeet Singh's 8,000 votes, right? So the other aspect to that is I'm not convinced that all 2,420 people would have voted for the Conservative candidate were the Conservative candidate the only conservative, quote unquote, conservative option in the race. I'm not convinced. Maybe half, maybe 50%. The other 50% probably would have stayed home, or who knows. Anyway, that's my interpretation of that result. And really, for a brand new party that had 0 EDAs this time last year and that started in September, August, September, to get 10% in a by-election during an election year, that says something. I don't know what it says, but it says something. Conservative Scott David wins York Simcoe federal by-election, so the Conservatives maintain their seat here. You can read that article, link is in the description. And the Liberals win Outremont. Sorry, everyone, for mispronouncing that yesterday. Outremont, haha, in by-election as the NDP endures a mixed night. Right, so I don't know how the Liberals retained a seat, but they indeed retained a seat. The people of Outremont enjoy the hair, the socks, the giving money away to anybody but natural-born Canadians, or all the other fun things that our Liberals have taken advantage of Canadians and done to us, to our country. Here's an Angus Reid Institute poll that was published this morning at 4:45 a.m., and it looks like the SNC-Lavalin affair is hurting the Liberals, despite what happened in Outremont. And they say, quote, "New today, Trudeau government's handling of SNC-Lavalin affair opens 7-point lead for CPC over the Liberals." And you see, Conservatives got 38%, Liberals have 31%. NDP have 14%, Green 8%, other parties 5%, and the Bloc 5%. Bloc Québécois 5%. So that's an interesting poll. Other big news as I was going to bed last night, the PM waives attorney-client privilege. This happened in a tweet like 5 minutes before the election results started happening. And I was like, my goodness, this is a crazy night. So CTV News reporting, PM waives attorney-client privilege in SNC-Lavalin affair. Isn't it nice how they use affair instead of matter or investigation or, I don't know, any of the other colorful words they could use. Anyway, here's the CTV News saying, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has waived attorney-client privilege and cabinet confidence to allow Jody Wilson-Raybould to speak openly when she appears before the House Justice Committee as part of its study into the SNC-Lavalin affair. The government made the directive in an order in council posted Monday evening. The order authorizes her, as well as, quote, any person who directly participated in discussions with her, to speak to the committee and ethics commissioner about the criminal prosecution of SNC-Lavalin. We obviously take very seriously the right of everyone to share their personal or their perspectives in various ways, Trudeau told reporters on his way to Commons Monday before first signaling that Wilson-Raybould would be able to, quote, address relevant matters at the committee while ensuring that the 2 active court cases are not jeopardized. The order relates to any information or communications that have to do with Wilson-Raybould's time as the Attorney General and exercising her authority under the Director of Public Prosecutions Act, and only in regards to the 2 ongoing probes of the matter, and not a blanket permission for Wilson-Raybould to speak. As well, the order states the Director of Public Prosecutor Kathleen Roussel is exempt from this waiving of privilege, and any information or conversations between Wilson-Raybould and Roussel cannot be disclosed in order to uphold the integrity of any criminal or civil proceedings, the Prime Minister's office states in the order in council. The Prime Minister has faced calls to waive solicitor-client privilege in the matter to allow Wilson-Raybould to speak publicly about allegations of political pressure being placed on her by members of the PMO in regards to an ongoing criminal prosecution of SNC-Lavalin. So that's quite interesting. The privilege has been waived. Miss Wilson-Raybould will be able to speak in a very limited manner, but she'll be able to speak presumably to the things that are relevant to the case. That is a very big turn of events. So if she's scheduled to speak now Thursday, maybe Friday, we could have some explosive stuff. Or this whole thing goes away and nothing changes, and she stays in caucus, she stays silent, or she maybe gets a cabinet position, and that's what she wanted in the first place, a high-profile cabinet position. I have no idea. At this point, I have no idea. It could go either way, really. There's speculation. I was listening to the Roy Green show yesterday, and there's speculation that there are Liberal MPs who are done, who are looking to cross the floor. And there are other people who are saying that Jody Wilson-Raybould wants to fight for leadership, and I've been saying that as well. I think that she's well positioned to take leadership from Trudeau if there's a confidence vote. I think that there are people who are seriously concerned about what he's doing within his own caucus, and two of them have voted against Trudeau's own policies. So that's, signs and signals, public signs and signals. And again, I was listening to Roy Green, and he had an interview with somebody saying that she'd heard privately, and she didn't want to talk about names, but she'd heard privately that more and more Liberals were looking at crossing the floor because what's happening is beyond the pale, and it really is. Here's an example of that. iPolitics reporting that Gerald Butts, former and disgraced principal secretary to Justin Trudeau, he resigned. Do you remember he resigned? When you quit a job, do you get a severance package? When you quit, do you get a severance? I don't get I have not gotten a severance when I quit jobs generally. They say, good luck, have fun at your new job, right? You quit. All right, well, we'll look for somebody to fill your position on the way. iPolitics is reporting, quote, Jerry Butts is still entitled to receive severance pay despite resigning from the PMO, though it is unknown if he will accept it or what it will total. Oh, of course. And the link is in the description to the tweet. And this is the final little story. This is Ezra. This is a picture of David Lametti and his swearing in as the new Attorney General after Trudeau fired Jody Wilson-Raybould. That's Trudeau he's hugging. The picture, in fact, is from Trudeau's website. Weird, unprofessional, and telling. And yeah, really, what a weird, oh my goodness. I think I'd cross the floor if he, and not to say I'm not a huggy person, but this is a job, right? This is a job. This isn't, I don't know what this looks like, but that's not what this should look like, right? You're the Attorney General. Right? Wow. So some disappointment and some good polls if what you're interested in is Mr. Trudeau not being the Prime Minister anymore. I know there are a lot of people who are who don't trust Andrew Scheer, and there's some concerning things that I've shared as well about Mr. Scheer. So we'll have to see. The polls appear to be very accurate. So the Burnaby South poll had Miss Taylor Thompson at 11%. So when you look at this stuff, and not that I don't believe it, it's still meant to influence public opinion, but it appears that these polls are reflective in the votes sometimes. It's weird. The Toronto mayoral race was a mirror image of the polls. So, and I think that race was, I think that race had some problems, to say the least. Anyway, we'll keep watching. Canada politics, Canadian politics. It's a twisting and turning thing. And the more things change, the more they stay the same, right? Yesterday was supposed to be a big kind of day. And, nothing really happened. Jagmeet Singh is the leader of the NDP. There was no People's Party elected to the House. And the Liberals took one. The NDP took a seat. And the Conservative Party took a seat. So, yeah. It doesn't seem to matter what happens in federal politics. People are voting what they've always voted. So either the propaganda is working and people aren't waking up, or people are really entrenched and really, really liking what they're seeing. It's really strange. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day. Check out the peoplespartyofcanada.ca. We've still got a whole bunch of months between now and the general federal election, and who knows what'll happen between now and then. Thanks for watching.